check and testing whether it shows up as always.
Can't wait to go home and go to bed after a meal like that.
Come on.
Just a few more hours and then I can
Now I hear
for free.
something.
I bet those traitorous Oseram will continue a new Zerval and transport to Mainspring.
Okay, I guess this will be good enough.
Sweat. I had no idea the Nora were so fierce.
I was thinking about going to the lake next week.
Yeah. So, hello everyone,
I felt like it.
and welcome to Uli's stream. We're still playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and we're
Letting the Oseram take Dervahl?
yeah. So
Wrap on the knuckles and let him go.
so yeah, I have been doing a little bit of homework last night just to get everything in readiness. So one thing you see is that I have this weird glow on my armor. You may also notice that the health bar is suddenly more bluish than it was before. That's because I went back to recover the ancient power cells, which you can find in some spots. Like one location I went to was
Prince Itaman from the Shadow Carja.
the
No claim on the book.
the place that Aloy fell into as a child. You can go back there. He's throwing them food. Me want some too? No. And another one was Maker's End, where when you're all the way at the top, you can kind of walk off. Hello, Bones. So
Itaman from Sunfall.
at Maker's End, where you find out some stuff about your
Tried to kill our Sun King?
about yourself for the first time, or about Elizabeth Sobek.
Slipped on some fruit and
Well,
choked and laughed at me.
Stuff those people talk about. Anyway, so I went back to those two places, and like in this in Maker's End, you can, like, on one end of the top of the tower, you can actually climb up even farther, onto like a sort of little tiny spire, and on its very top you find another ancient power cell, and yeah, so like pretty much these ancient power cells are like in every major location that you go throughout the story mission. And once you have those, I put them into that vault that we discovered on the last stream, I think, where this armor was. But as you see, like, she just like takes the materials of the armor and builds a Nora armor based on that. And so this armor is special in that it has a force field. So if I'm taking damage, like, my part of my health bar
Is the war well and truly over?
just goes from blue to green. And then if I don't take damage for a while, it recovers again. Which means that essentially I have an extra health bar now. So I have the I have the full health bar that I've had. I have 3 health bars worth of herbs, and I have this shield as a first layer of something that can take damage. And so if that shield takes damage and I then manage to take cover for a bit, it recovers. So this armor, you're off in about 45 minutes or so, sadly. Okay, I'll try to not talk too much then and get going.
Attack is coming.
Anyway, so that's I got this armor, and I also got the Shadow Warbow, which is another purple weapon. And as you see, it shoots freeze arrows, shock arrows, or corruption arrows. And I also collected a lot of so freeze arrows and shock arrows are kind of self-explanatory. We had items like that. Corruption arrow makes basically every animal you shoot with it gets aggressive and kills all the not animal machine, and kills attacks the machines around it. Usually that just means it causes a little bit of damage to them, and they then destroy it. So usually, like, if there's because you cause damage by shooting the corruption arrow at the animal, and so usually it's the weaker one of the two. But it means if you corrupt a machine that way, it will help you a little bit. And I also went and unlocked the carry capacity upgrades related to most weapons. So I have more sling ammo now. I have a larger pouch for what's it called? Yeah, it's a cool effect, that's true. I find it a little bit too strong. I think like it would be nice if it, mainly if it didn't do it quite as much. It kind of is a little distracting, but otherwise it's okay. Yeah, sorry. Anyway. So yeah, I've unlocked my traps and potions pouch is larger now, and I can carry more sling ammo and more ammo of that new bow, as you see. Yeah, like it just feels a bit too strong. Like it's also, yeah, it's a bit distracting when you play. Just that's mainly it. But I mean, this is a really good armor, because in most cases it means I don't really take any real damage, because the shield takes damage and then heals again. So that's really neat. I also unlocked more skills, so I've leveled up to level 44 now, as you can see. Just barely. And so I have, I think concentration plus I still got on the stream, but now I have the 3 points that let me get fast reload as well, so we should be a little better. I did not get the balanced aim, which was the other option for 3 points, get hunter reflexes and balanced aim. I hope I won't regret that in the coming fight, because like one of the locations I set up in yesterday had like a bunch of ropes like that would have been really, where that skill would have been useful. And if we, as I expect, get to walk in that area, then that's probably what will happen. That will probably have been useful. But I'm kind of thinking having the longer concentration and the faster reload while in concentration will make me do a little more damage. Yeah. So that's... Oh yeah, and one other thing that I did is I started the hunting lodge quest, which would give me some extra special weapons apparently. But I found the bylaws of the hunting lodge, and basically what it said was that to become a full member of the hunting lodge, you would have to kill someone. And I just think like the way I'm playing Aloy, it isn't really in her style to kill for weapons, in cold blood, even if like the other person knows and agrees. And I mean, the people who became high levels of the hunting lodge already have killed someone, so they're sort of bad people, you could say. But yeah, it just seems like an unethical and not really the kind of thing Aloy would do, just for a better bow or whatever. Oh yeah, and another quest I did yesterday, like just to, like last night, was I did a few of the tutorials, and I'd say if you ever plan to play this game, do the tutorials as you play it. They're not really that big, and they give a bunch of experience, as you say. So that was basically how I got. Actually, basically all those tutorials are just like use that weapon and use its ammo types on some machines that are in some restricted area. So yeah, just did a few things to get some more XP, and so now I have 2 really strong bows, the tripcaster. I also filled up the entire, like all my potion pouches are full, of which I have 12 now, not just 9. All my traps are full. The health potions are there, so I hope we're well equipped to deal with the upcoming fight. So I guess let's go. Yeah, I mean the difference, of course, is what do I think? So you say I wouldn't join a lodge where I had to kill someone to get in, unless I was playing an assassin. But in there, that's kind of the point. Like Aloy doesn't strike me as an assassin or a cold-blooded person, at least the way I've played her so far. Okay, so let's see. We're in our, or in Olin's place now. And I guess we're gonna take a rest here now. So Olin was the guy whose family was abducted by the Shadow Karja. And we freed them, and you know, like we found out about it by throwing something down here and going into the cellar. So that's the guy. If you remember him, like the guy we met early on, and yeah. Okay, what? Here, rest before the battle. Rest before the battle. No way back. Okay, there goes nothing.
How could you sleep, Elizabeth, with a weight like this pressing on you? How did you, Rost, after you lost your family? Silence? Are you there? Guess I shouldn't ask ghosts for advice.
Oh, I got an extra skill point.
Ma'am, there are signs from the west. Sun King Avad awaits you at the Temple of the Sun.
Campfires, perhaps? Massing forces for the long march to the city gates?
That's not wood smoke.
Then what is it?
Machines.
Or how it begins, anyway.
Bunch of corruptors so far.
Deathbringers you spoke of?
To the guns! To the guns! Now!
By the sun, do as she says!
Set loaded! All of you, be ready to fire!
Will the guns hold them back?
We're about to find out.
Oops.
Helis!
Oh, Shadow Carger.
Rally the vanguard. Send reinforcements.
Aloy, no!
We need those guns!
He will cut you down!
Not this time!
You have vexed me long enough.
Should have fought me in a sun ring then.
Where is he?
Why do you
Oh. Let's see if we can not take damage for a moment so my shield comes back. Yeah, that's good.
He's too dangerous and close.
Oh, okay, that's healers, okay.
If the Deathbringers keep firing, this bridge will go. Keep him away.
Accept your weakness.
Oh. Hey, I wanted to do that to him.
Only endless night awaits
He's quick.
you. Meridian must run red to be cleansed.
Bridge can't take much more of this.
Can I maybe blow up the bridge on top of him? How do I get him? Oh, oh, oh! Bring her down.
Can't let him in
Yes.
close. Can't let him in close.
How do I do this? I have no idea. Must be something I should be doing. But at least as you see, like as I'm running.
It's giving way!
What are you before the terror of the sun?
The one who will take you down! Blocked again.
Yes! Okay, so the basic trick was right.
This was not meant to be.
None of this was meant to be, Helis. You made it happen. Followed your orders, butchered so many, and for what? To die on your knees, used like a pawn by a power you don't even understand.
You pity me?
Turn your face to the sun.
Ouch. So we've met bull machines, giraffe machines, bird machines, but have we met a coffee machine yet? Well, I think these Deathbringers look like, you know, like one of those you can get 2 cups out at the same time coffee machine. Okay. So one thing I want to do now, since I got 1 skill point, is at least unlock 1 more skill, and this is the only one we can learn right now. I don't know if I'll ever use it during this battle, we'll see. And refill our arrows. And the 1 trap we used. Oh, let's see, maybe one of the boxes or something will give us a trap. No. Is there a bar through our health? Oh, okay. So we actually managed to take damage, but we have a shield protecting us. So let's fill up the health again.
Should have brought a cart.
Why can't I take the health potion? Oh. I guess I only took part. Oh, I used the wrong way to fill up the health. Breach door. Let's see how this continues. Coffee machines on the rampage, yeah? Well, if people kept drinking you, what would you do?
Looks good.
Guess that's where we go. Go to the ridge. Okay, so yeah, we're going to each location, it seems.
Where do you need me?
Take up a cannon on the platform.
Okay, so these, we've tried those out. Now let's see where are our targets.
Gotta get to another platform.
Yeah, the cannons work, okay. I just need to get the right angle. Oh, this is nice. Okay, we've got one. Oh. Wow. Where is the south that they're coming from? Oh, over there, okay.
So surprised.
So that's why they let us play with these. Oops. I like the way these cannons shoot, but I really need to hit more of that guy, yes.
Don't want to be here when that hits.
Oh. guess so.
Look to the west!
Oops. Oh, down there. Oh, Bellowback. Oh, can I please keep these? Okay. I think we're done now. This was fun.
Good meat.
Radar!
Oh, more? Okay. Get it? No. I guess we'll go to the next one. Gotta get that fellow back before it gets us. Now get the Deathbringer.
Now it's mad. Time to go.
From the sky!
Last one. Yeah, okay. Crap. I don't know what I'm supposed to do and my health is almost down. Okay. Choke. Oh, work. Where are you? Let's try this again with the cannons. Okay, that worked. I just should have kept going. Corruptors, okay. Was there another Deathbringer? Another Deathbringer? Where? Here somewhere. Oh.
Stormbird! Stormbird!
Time to go.
where should I go? Oops. Ah, there's the other Deathbringer. Wow. I like this fight. Like first we got to play a little with heavy weapons, but not to this degree, and so finally we get to fight a whole bunch of Deathbringers. Oh, okay, so I guess that's why we have 2 cannons. Oh, come on, I haven't even shot at you yet. What was that? The original point-and-click interface was a Smith & Wesson. This thing comes pretty close. Whew. Oh, more. Jesus. Die, evil tree, die. Yeah. I liked that they let this tree. Oh. No. What happened? We're Super Aloy. Oh. They're bringing in Hades or a bomb or what?
Aloy! Aloy! Aloy!
Tab?
My all-mother, you survived. I thought you were killed.
The others, are they...
No. Wounded, but alive, mostly. The machines blasted through, then kept going. They marched on the spire, dragging that thing with them.
Take care of the others, Tab. I've gotta go.
Oh, wow. Lost my whole health, basically.
We'll draw them. Now you face their true sun, shadow demons.
Come on, then.
You had a choice.
Yeah, that armor doesn't really deal too well with corruption, though. Or am I supposed to run this way, I guess? Swim! Swim, Aloy, you can do it.
My strength is not yet spent. I earned it by ice and snow.
I should probably get the anti-corruption.
My strength is not yet spent. I earned it by ice and snow.
There is no timer on this mission.
No, Ice Center.
Yes, thank you. It's nice that we get to see the people we met and saved and stuff like that. I hope it'll go like that and we won't have too many, you know, like, oh, everyone is dead moments. I mean, you know, like, yeah, it makes for good drama and, you know, yeah, war, people die. So I can't really blame them. Just keep swimming.
It's begun. Hades is transmitting.
Oh no. So, more Deathbringers, yay! That looks like it's in the Nora lands. Oh yeah, and they're now eating up all the trees. Probably making more of themselves, or at least repairing themselves. Biomass conversion initiated. Oh, carp.
If Hades has started the signal, it must have gotten through the defenses. Nora, Aaron's vanguard. I have to get up there.
Which way? This way.
Gotta keep going. Keep pushing. Knew this wouldn't be easy. So no holding back.
Oops. Didn't mean to run off the edge there. But then Hades just woke up the Deathbringers, which just made everyone really hard of hearing. Yeah, that would be kind of what I wish for, but I doubt it.
Aloy! It's Aloy! Well, you can see that. We thought you'd fallen at the ridge.
No, the ridge fell on me. Look, there isn't a lot of time left. I have to face Hades.
Not alone.
My fight. I can't ask you to come with me.
We were about to go over the top anyway, right? Right.
The metal devil must fall.
I should stock up. Last chance.
Okay, so let's see, do we have any... Okay, we have full health potions, that's good, so we should be full on everything, right? Let's see. Traps and potions, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. Oh, 11 of 12, so corruption. Traps and potions. Antidote, okay, but we don't have any corruption glaze root. Oh, we used up a blast trap. So I guess we gotta go. I don't see any corruption glaze root nearby. So let's just walk this way. Talk this way. Okay, this looks like the boss fight arena now. Oh, and over there seems to be Hades. And they have us dropping down, so my guess is they don't want us coming back up.
Arrival of Entity has been anticipated. Entity will not halt transmission. To contrary, calculations are precise. Presence of Entity has been accounted for.
Uh-oh.
Get ready, it's a death bringer!
Death bringer!
Oh wait, can I somehow maybe use some of those fancy things? It's corrupted, so I can't corrupt it. Oh, come This thing is so slow. This bow. Arrows work better. No idea what I'm supposed to do here. Again, I guess I'm supposed to use the cover. Oh, there are barrels again.
Aloy, that blasted heap wants your blood.
Okay, here it comes.
Oh. Oh, okay. Well, corruption arrow doesn't seem to do much. The other ability, I guess. What arrows do you use against something like that? Ah, that seems to work, okay.
Slow us down anymore.
Oh, we have a timer on this. Oh, I got one of the guns. Okay. I just have to not run out of arrows before I've got him.
Watch it, Aloy! More machines!
All of you, focus on the new machines!
Let's see, what are his weaknesses? Okay, I need to craft more ammo. Okay. Set some traps. First I need to craft more ammo. Oops.
Intensify aggression.
Won't let me ease up.
Okay.
I'll do this.
Got rid of this one at least. I don't like being on a timer, seriously. Oh, there's a heavy weapon that we shot off. That's good. The other one? Oh. Man. Let's see what...
Look out, it's brought in reinforcements.
Take them out first!
Okay, that thing seems to be shooting.
With the time I've got left, I can do this.
Try to get out of the way a little bit.
Prioritize entity.
Beware, Aloy, you face another.
Got it!
Can I blow up this guy maybe in his nose? Oh. Come on, you can catch fire, yes. And then blow up, please. I wish they had a normal bellow back. Here, maybe we can attract someone who will blow up. Oh crap. The wrong one blew up. Oh man. Oh. No.
Time enough to beat the machines back.
Come on, open up that hatch. So I can shoot it. Minutes left.
Last one
10.
down. For now.
Braves! Triumph over metal!
Yes,
We're running out of time.
Doing damage. Come on. I don't want to do this again. Please let me. Oh. Oh, here. That's what I want to shoot at. Yeah, that sounds good. there is something that can open, that means there is something that needs to be protected. Let's try the tear ammo on those. Yes, yes, yes. Now this one, quick, before it closes again. Yeah, one more, come on. Open it once more. Oh, there's a vulnerable spot there, okay.
Still got time. My way's clear.
It's down! Time to do what you came for, Aloy.
Okay, where is Hades? Where the heck? Hello? Here's a mission objective somewhere.
System threat imminent.
I'm more than a threat.
Oh, wow. They're very generous with their time, as you can tell, since I had no idea what I'm doing. Ouch. That doesn't sound good. Did we just get downloaded into Hades? Connected to Hades?
Master Override armed. To activate, state name and rank.
Elizabeth Sobek. Alpha Prime.
Master Override activated. Purging extinction protocol.
Oh. You're off for today. Okay, bye Bones. I don't know if you're still there. I guess it's 9 minutes ago now. As you said, so bye bye. Remember the anti-corruption armor. Yeah, I didn't use anti-corruption armor because this armor heals me faster. Well, seems we did it. Where's his mommy? The guy looked like this is not appropriate. This is harassment in the workplace. So I guess they're alone now. There's no Gaia. Well, there are probably still the machine animals.
Okay, Gaia. Sorry about that. Where was I?
You were telling a story.
Right. Yeah, so, like I was saying, it was a children's electronics kit, but I hacked the wiring to an auto battery and solar PV. So the grass caught fire. And, so did a tall pine that had stood there, I don't know, maybe 100 years.
Query. You were how old?
6. My mother was home, thank God, so she called the fire department, and after, she took me out to the lawn and showed me the dead baby birds, because there were nests in the pine tree.
Query. What did you feel?
I'm not sure. I remember yelling that I didn't care, and that's when my mother took my face in her hands and spoke.
Query. What did she say?
She said I had to care. She said, Elizabeth, being smart will count for nothing if you don't make the world better. You have to use your smarts to count for something. To serve life, not death.
You often tell stories of your mother, but you are childless.
I never had time. Guess it was for the best.
If you had had a child, Elizabeth, what would you have wished for him or her?
I guess I would have wanted her to be curious. And willful, unstoppable, even. But with enough compassion to heal the world. Just a little bit.
Is this a glow?
Anyway, that's all I've got for now, Gaia. Time to tuck in.
I wish you a pleasant sleep, Elizabeth.
Thank you. I'll catch you tomorrow.
Was beautiful. Okay, I expected there to be a little more at the end. But I mean, you know, not that I'm disappointed that it's not that much, just like to fill the stream. Because we've gone an hour and that's it. That was a nice battle. So again, I played this on easy, of course, so if you, you know, like it was difficult for me, but then I'm not too much into the shooty side of things. And into the doing stuff on a timer side of things. That's not my thing either. But the easy, which is the second easiest, like there's one below that which is just story. So easy is just about generous enough with most of it timing that you can do everything, I think. Maybe with a few attempts, if like I tried the hunting grounds trials. Nice music. A while ago, and the hunting grounds were like I managed on 2 of the 3 disciplines of one hunting ground to get the full marks, and on one like 2 out of 3. So there is some, you know, like practice and training and things you have to do, but it works pretty well. So I guess that farm or whatever where Elizabeth was, I hope that was her home, quote unquote, that she was looking for when she went outside. It definitely looked homey enough at least. So let's just roll these credits then. This is nice. Flying through a cauldron. So yeah, again, the way you usually do this... Oh, this is actually a 3D effect, I guess. So yeah, usually the way you do like floating text like this is just, it's like projected on a rectangle, so you can kind of guess, but like how it dissolves into fragments, into triangles, I don't know if that's just a pre-rendered. Probably not. Like, it could be that they just do a, you know, like, do a slow render, like, with full precision on like, the flyover at the angle that they expect, but I think they probably just render this live. It's not that many particles. And, you know, it doesn't really have to be random or interact with anything. So they probably just like split up the whole rectangle, the whole polygon on which the or quad, I guess in this case, maybe into little boxes or into little triangles, and then fly those apart. But like, it's still the same overall texture, it just each triangle shows a tiny part of the texture, and then they maybe tint the color a little, which is fairly easy. And well, at least in OpenGL it was fairly easy, so I'm assuming that the graphics card just can easily apply a tint to a pixel as well, because OpenGL's main point was do stuff on the graphics card. And that's like my main 3D graphics experiences with OpenGL, so this is probably... I don't actually know what they use on a PlayStation for the 3D rendering. Whether they have OpenGL, it's unlikely that they would use like direct 3D, but it could be something more custom. I mean, there can still be many extensions and stuff. Like you can, you know, like be implementing OpenGL and then have a bunch of extra features that you put in because your graphics card can do those. That's like built in. You can actually ask a graphics card, do you do this feature, and like how much memory do you have for this and that. It's just on a PC it's a little difficult to do much with this information, because, you know, there's like many application programs running on the same graphics card, and so like the windows behind the game kind of can use up graphics resources as well. I mean, there is some mechanism for like unloading something that, you know, like if you know that your OpenGL is full screen, then the operating system will unload everything behind it probably. But still, you're not quite 100%, you know, like if you can in a PC game, like press the Windows key and the Windows menu comes up, that means it's reserving a bunch of textures to be able to show the Windows menu on top of, or just generally graphics card resources, and be able to render that menu on top of the game. And I mean, this is a PlayStation, but even there, I think they actually reserve a bit of resources for like the operating system. But there, of course, you know, like there's 2 models of PlayStation 4 right now, so you know exactly what they can do and how much memory you can use. like RAM. Like disk space is different, of course. You can get them with different disk space, but like RAM and how many polygons you have on the graphics card, it's very easy to test stuff like that on a PlayStation because there's few hardware configurations, whereas on a PC, like everyone and their grandmother has different different hardware in there, like a different graphics card that does some things better, some things worse, and different memory, and then there's some program running in the background that, you know, like download something right now, so you have less CPU than you would expect it to be, and things like that. But yeah, this works well. And now you see all these lists of names. It's like in modern movies with lots of CGI. Like you need a lot of people to make a game like this, or to make a movie. And now we're at the special thanks section, as you see, for several pages. So that's a big number of people. I wonder what, like, Secret Agent Mark Cerny? I wonder if that goes together, or if Secret Agent was like a company. Amazing cosplayers and fan artists, we love you. Guerrilla Babies, so that's Guerrilla is one of the studios. Guerrilla. And yeah, you can tell like how many how long they worked on this, if this many people had babies during the making. Ada, Peaches, Terrells, Geese, so 2 people. I hope they didn't die from the project. Thank you for playing. So I guess this is the end. And I think we've come full circle. I don't know how many times we flew around in the circle. Now credits for the Frozen Wilds, which... Can I speed that up somehow? I'm kind of wondering if I miss anything if I skip these, so I probably won't skip them. Yeah. So the Frozen Wilds is the DLC, the expansion. I'm thinking that's probably what I'm gonna buy next. I'm not quite sure if that's what I will be streaming next. So I'll have a peek at that. I think I'd want to, you know, I'd want to have a look at. Oh, Laura Fantol is Aloy's infant voice. Because there were a bunch of babies that were called Vantol. Where was I? Yeah, I just would like to play a little bit into the Frozen Wilds expansion to see if it's like what it's about. And I actually haven't purchased it yet because I went to I'm starting to realize that you know, there's this a joke that or half jokingly many people who play computer games regularly go like, yeah, my games library is like 90% games I haven't even started playing yet, or I've played a little bit and then got interrupted and never continued it. So many people have unplayed games, and of course it's kind of silly to keep buying games if you won't play them. So I've kind of finally set myself a rule where I go, okay, buy a game if you think it's good. Like if you think it's really good and you will play it, but do not buy any DLC for it until you've played it a little and you know you'll keep playing. Because for some reason, you know, there was a sale or something, and then I always thought, okay, now I can get this game. But the truth of the matter, which is hard, you know, to get past, like the collector's instincts and things like that we have hardwired, and of course the advertisers are banking on that a little bit. The truth of it is that there will always be a next sale. So, you know, you can always wait and buy, you know, another game. Or another extension. When it comes out, when you finish the main game or something. So I mean, I'll probably make an exception, like if they bring in DLC that's intended to be played alongside with the game, I will consider, you know, just saying, okay, I've played the game a little bit, it's good, and now I'll buy the extension so I can play it all in one go. But yeah, for Horizon, I didn't buy the DLC yet because I bought it pretty early on, and then had it on my PlayStation for half a year, and only recently got back to it, basically. So yeah. Anyway, so that's my rule. So that's why I don't have the DLC yet. Otherwise, I think the Frozen Wilds is, as far as I know, like I haven't read up on this if it's actually true, but the impression I got was that the Frozen Wilds adds a bunch of skills and a bunch of maybe smaller mechanics or something to the overall game. But in general, it's a separate map in which you can keep playing. So it's just an extra area unlocked which you can explore, which sounds pretty good. And so since we've streamed an hour, it's actually a good point. Stay hydrated, bot. Thank you for that. Talking to bots. Stay hydrated, bot actually told me that almost 15 minutes ago. Let's drink a little bit. I'll mute myself while I drink, but I recommend you drink something as well, because hey, it's healthy. You don't want your kidneys to dry out and you to get, I don't know, kidney stones or something worse. It's not healthy. So yeah, Marvel has ruined me a little bit for, like I'm a software developer myself, and in general, in application software, you don't have, you know, credits like this. Usually it's something that you know, like, there's no, like here, where, you know, actors are involved, and voice actors and motion capture actors and people like that. There are actually like union rules that people have to be credited and in what order and things like that. And for motion pictures, of course, even more so. In regular software development, that's not the case. Some companies even prohibit putting credits into your software, because they don't want, you know, like another company to go like, oh, this game was well made, let's see which of these people we can make an offer and hire them away from the company they were at. So in general, in software there is no time scheduled, like it would be for movies, to get the credits right, to collect all the names of all the people that need to be credited, and, you know, credit them with the right titles and things like that. But what you usually do is, like, some evening before you go home or something, or at least that was in my case, you know, you just added, you know, like, usually there's an about screen with, like, copyright and, like, licensing information that is required. Like, if you're using, like, certain commercial libraries, they require you to put, like, their logo in your about screen or something like that. So you put, like, the appropriate copyright in there, and logos, and, you know, like, short texts that say, like, it's under this and that license or something like that. And usually there is a picture design to go behind that text or something by your graphics designer. So that part is there. So what we've often done is that one of us would just sit down and, like, add a secret about box. So, like, you hold down the Alt key or the Control key or the Shift key or several of them while choosing about, and then we show, like, credits, and then we just have a text file containing all the credits needed to display. So that's knowing that, you know, like, it's like having had it in my life that it wasn't really, you know, like, I would put credits in on my own time, basically, was, or at least, well, maybe not on my own time, but, you know, like, just, like, in between doing a few things, I went like, okay, I have a moment, just quickly put that in, type in all the names I can think of, and that's the informal way. And so it's hard to be credited properly. And so I appreciate, you know, all the people that had to work on things like that, and I like watching, or at least, you know, showing the trailer, the ending credits of games. Even if it's a little bit boring, I'm sorry, but, you know, they deserve it. And maybe, you know, if the Marvel rule holds true, maybe they have a little Easter egg at the end. Not all games do that, though. But I think, like, if you think about developing a game or something, and your credits are, you know, more than, you know, just a page saying I made this and I used these 5 libraries and this is my graphic designer that I contracted the graphics out to, and this is my sound designer who also composed the music for the game, or whatever you do, like in a small indie game, you know. But if it's longer than just like a page that someone gets shown at the end and then it disappears again, then I would recommend, you know, put a little, you know, post-credits stinger like you would have it in a Marvel movie at the end of your credits, just as a little, you know, Easter egg, and as a gift to those people who actually watch to the end. And I mean, just look at this incredible number of people who were involved in this game. Like, all these people worked for several years, or well, not all of these people. Like, a good fraction of those, you know, some of those people are ones that came in, you know, like, for 6 months at the end, or something like that. You know, like, you know, like, you have, you know, people who, you know, like, are, sometimes you have people who specialize in plants, you know, and you just go, okay, you, we have the budget to pay you to make, I don't know, like 10 hours worth of, or no, not 10 hours, but like you know, like 6 weeks worth of plants or something, and then that person sits down and models, you know, the leaves and the branches and maybe a few variations of the same plant, so that if you have 3 next to each other, they don't look, you know, like cloned identical things. And then a few of them, like the crafting supplies, usually don't have variations, just so you can immediately recognize, okay, this is ridgewood, and this is the medicinal ember, but like for the grass or something, you have different kinds of grass, and like you also, you know, need to model transitions. So you would model like grass at the edge of a bit of lawn, which is, you know, very thin and only a few short blades, and maybe some of them are, you know, like torn off because there's a path that leads past them, or some of them are more dry because it's at the edge of the arable land or something like that. And then, you know, you have like grass that is like normal, that is not very tall, but just this, and then you have the tall grass in there, and then of course you need like a spot where it's regular grass and tall grass. And sometimes you can just, you know, like make this as like one patch of grass, and then like mark several of them to say, take these out if the grass is thinning, and take these out if the grass is even thinning even more. So it depends like how much of it is algorithmic and how much of it is actually designed individually. But often for the variation they will actually not do it algorithmically, so you'd be surprised how much is actually different elements. And then of course what they often do is like they build a map editor, and that just gets told, you know, if someone paints an area with grass, you know, like the first time they paint over it, just paint the thinnest grass, and then if someone paints over it again, use the next thicker tile variant, and then if they paint over it again, the thicker. And so they can just like make a larger, you know, paint a large circle or something, and then paint ever smaller circles inside this to have like slowly grass building up. Whereas in a spot where, you know, a machine, you know, like something crashed or something, of course the grass would just abruptly stop, because then comes the area where something crashed into the cornfield or whatever, you know. So you need some of the control, but like often the intelligence of grass needs to thin towards the edges is built into the editor, that it just says, okay, this is the area, and maybe it will even, you know, like you can mark an area and it will just fill it with grass, and then with thicker grass, but you know, so they can like quickly fill the entire map with just scenery basically. And that's usually like jobs that you split up between some of those people. Like there are some people that whose job will be through the game to, you know, like every day go through it and insert another item, you know, just as to make the world look more real, you know. They're told, okay, this is a tundra area, this is an ice mountain area, this is a fairly warm mountain, you know, on the southern side of the slopes or something, southern mountain slope, I mean, and, you know, like this is a green valley, and then they will just take that and, you know, like run with it. And then for those spots where there are particular missions, someone will go over this generally painted area and, you know, do a more precise and more conscious design. You know, like that desert you ride through that has like a path winding through it, you can kind of do that ad hoc, you know, and you can reroute a few of the footpaths or something to make room for a field in which, you know, like longlegs hang out or whatever we had in this game. So you get a lot of different levels of detail and different levels of different levels of intention as well, or intent. You know, where now we're at the Japanese voiceover and stuff. all the translations. Yeah, so you see, like, that's also, it's an international release with fully voiced game in, several languages. So, of course, you would go and, those are all people that were involved as well. And, like, you have sound editors and things like that. Well, anyway, and so often, though, just to prevent any misunderstanding, I mean, the order depends on, what they have time for. But sometimes they will just, start with a tiny team that just develops the engine and adds all the features that they need, and places a few locations that they work on a little bit more. Or like at first you just do mock-ups, with like cubes standing in for a mountain and things like that, and then later you go over that and say, okay, now we know that the mechanics work, that level works, and then you take a graphic designer and have them, do the 3D meshes over it to make it look like an actual mountain. And then maybe they have one mountain that they use for all missions, and then later on they add variation and things like that. So it's a progressive thing. And so often also a game is just a bunch of little islands where the actual mission things happen. And then, like, towards the end, when they know that the core game works, that you can go through the story, then they will hire a bunch of people and just say, fill in the blanks. And that's funny because, or interesting also, because on one hand that might mean, just paint the grassy steppe between those 2 points and build the entire path out of these 5 pieces of, like road we have. And, then they'll probably have people, inserting quick travel points and other points of interest in between, so you can reach every area fairly quickly once you've played a little longer. Because, you spend, in games as large as this, you spend a lot of time, going back and forth and realizing you missed a point. So at some point they want to unlock quick travel for you once they know, like what's in between the places, and, you've not missed any important spots. That's, they don't put quick travel in there later in the game because they're being mean or whatever, or it makes them more money, or they want to delay you getting through the game, to be able to claim more hours in their game. It's not about that. It's usually about, progressive disclosure. Like, you learn the mechanics of the game, you learn the world. So first they keep you in a fairly safe valley where everything's leveled for your low-level character, and where you don't run into the higher level enemies as well. And then they will, as you progress outward, you both level through random encounters and through the missions you do on the way, and thus are stronger for the enemies that get more difficult as you get out. And they introduce new game mechanics and things like that, maybe. Although usually, like the starting section usually like teaches you all the basics. But then, for example, the weapons in Horizon Zero Dawn, that was like as you went outward, the traders started stocking more foreign weapons. So like in the Embrace, you only got simple Karja weapons were like the most exotic thing you got. Usually it was just Nora stuff, which makes sense, like you have, if you're in a country, usually like the food you can readily buy at the store is usually the one that most people that come here ask for. So that's mainly the food that's common in your country, plus stuff that people that come in from bordering countries may ask for more often, and that's also easy to get because they can just, like walk across the border and buy it there essentially. Which okay, they mail it or something, but like in general, it's being nearby makes it easier, and so that both in the game world makes sense, but also as a game mechanic, and that's usually how game developers decide which game mechanic should be in a game and how realistic a game should be in what aspect. You add unrealistic things or you leave out realism for certain things because it doesn't make the game any more interesting. Like, adding quick travel. Like in real games, there is no way, you just have to walk. Or, like they could add like a train system or something, but that would still mean that you would be sitting an hour in a box to get from one end of the nation to the other. Or several hours depending on the size of the nation. And so that's what they will what goes into a game is usually the decision, like how can we prevent the user from too quickly progressing into an area they're not prepared for, and also how do we not overwhelm the player at the beginning of the game by introducing too many mechanics. That's why there are, like stories where, like you first, you're just young Aloy and you just walk around and you get like the hang of navigation, which most people know, but like I'm new to the console, and so it was good for me to have another moment where it says, hey here, okay, right analog controller is like is where I'm looking, left analog controller is where I'm moving, X button is jump, so those are fairly standard ones. Ooh, post credits stinger. Don't. Uh-oh.
Hello, old friend. Remember me? We've still so much to discuss. So much you never revealed. Your masters, for example. The ones who sent the signal that woke you. Knowledge has its rewards, don't you think? Well, let's begin.
Of course. So that's a little weird. So Hades sent the signal that woke you. Oh, wasn't there talk of... I think there was talk of a virus at some point. Huh. But okay, this is interesting. I kind of expected... I mean, it's still... I like that they didn't make Silence the cackling bad guy. I hope it stays that way. Like it... He works much better as... Well, basically the Ted Faro of this post-apocalyptic future. Because Ted Faro kind of just did his experiments and built his machines, and thought, like, well, those people would fight each other anyway. What does it matter if I help? Congratulations on defeating Hades and protecting Gaia's dream of an Earth reborn. The state of the world has been restored to just before the looming shadow, prior to the final battle for Meridian. You keep all loot and experience from your successful playthrough. Additionally, New Game Plus has been unlocked, granting the option to play the game again from the beginning with all the loot and skills you have accumulated throughout this playthrough. A New Game Plus loadout of your current inventory and skills has been created. To play in this mode, simply choose the New Game Plus option in the main menu. You can also create new loadouts via the pause menu in the game. Thank you for playing, the Horizon team. Okay. I guess it needed to be said. I don't find this pretty. Like, for one, the text doesn't seem to fit on that gray plate, and it's not, it's just a dialogue, which we've had in the game a little bit, so I guess it's okay. And it's a mission, a tutorial thing they only show you once, but I don't know, it's not pretty. But the rest of the game is pretty, so who cares? Okay, but so that means we can unlock a skill or two. So we can unlock balanced aim, for instance, or we could unlock double shot. Two arrows, what does that get me? Double damage, I guess. I think I'll use balanced aim because that now I have all the stealth skills at least. Can try that out. And I'm 46 now, goodness gracious. Level 46, can you imagine? Okay, so yeah, the question is, what should we do now? I think it would be a good idea to just call the stream here. So about almost more than 1 hour before I would usually end. Because I don't really have a game right now that I could play, and I would have to buy.
I quit.
Well, actually, yeah, no, I want to play the Frozen Wilds a little myself before I decide whether I'll stream it or not. I will probably stream it, but I just, want to know a little bit what to expect. So yeah, let's call the stream today, and maybe we have someone to raid if we have some people left.
Any less guilty. He should pay.
So let me just look up who to raid. There are a bunch of fun streamers that usually stream at this time, so we will see who is there.
Why'd he try to kill the Sun King?
I'm trying to thinking.
What reason do Oseram need for anything that they
So
do?
some people are live. Let's go to FG again. So FG Squared, she's a variety streamer, and I would love if you could come along and check out her stream, just for once at least, and if you find her stream interesting, I think she's really entertaining, and she's much less stiff and much less
Prince Edelman is no.
Sorry, I'm typing and trying to speak at the same time. So let's see if that works.
An Oseram tries to kill the Sun King, and a Nora saves his life.
Okay, one raider. Well, better than nothing, I guess. So thank you for being here. I hope I'll see you again tomorrow. And enjoy FG and give her a follow if you think her streams are interesting. She's just working on getting enough followers for the next emotes, so she could really use some people who watch her regularly.
Prince Edaman has returned to Meridian. I fear what Sunfall may do to retaliate.